They say I'm crazy, I really don't care. That's my prerogative.
What's going on?
How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, Derek. Hi, everybody. Welcome. How you doing? Hey. Dude, I'm a surprise interviewer tonight.
I see. I was expecting Shaq.
Yeah, it was gonna be Shaq. If you want,
completely
just
changes the dynamics a little bit.
I'm always subbing in for Shaq.
No,
Whenever he can't make it, they call me.
So before we start, let me just give you a little background here with Jimmy. I hosted Saturday Night Live in 2001, and Jimmy went out of his way to make sure that I felt comfortable, which is very hard to do when you're talking about Saturday Night Live. And when you got the late night show, you actually found out while you were at my golf tournament in Tampa. So my family feels responsible for all of your success.
Oh my God, please. Where's your mom? Because I love you, but she's the only reason I'm doing this. Where's mom? I love you, Dora. Hey, I love you. You don't call, you don't write, you don't send cards. Oh, you did actually. Yeah, you did. She loves me. I'm her favorite child. I'm gonna ask you questions. I'll pretend. You want me? I can do Shaq. I can ask you questions like.
Okay, yeah, go.
I play basketball, you play baseball. What's the difference between basketball and baseball?
All right. Do you remember? I gotta say, Turn 2 Foundation's been around. This is 22nd year.
22 years.
Holy
yes.
moly, dude! And I was at that golf tournament years ago back in Tampa. Do you remember that?
How could I forget? Yes.
I mean, I kind of forgot a little bit. You know you have a problem when John Daly's like, Jimmy, you got to go to sleep. Jimmy, you've had enough. But no, the best is, dude, you remember this? This is the greatest. I played the golf tournament with these guys. They were really nice guys. They were called Beav X. It was like FedEx, but it was a Florida thing called Beaver X or Beav.
Yes.
And it was, but they found out they...
I'm very interested to see where he takes this story, because I know the truth.
No, I know it's a family thing, and I wouldn't even dare. But they found out that I like Jägermeister. And so I started doing shots at the first hole. So, but at the end, my handicap was so bad that I ended up winning the tournament, and you had to present me with a trophy. Do you remember that?
Well, that's sort of tradition with my tournament. There's so many people that lie about their handicaps, and golf is supposed to be...
I did not lie about my handicap.
Golf's supposed to be a gentleman's
sport.
sport.
Bad. I didn't lie at all.
You lied, Jimmy. I mean, that's the bottom line. So yes, I painfully presented you with a trophy.
Dude, I have photos of it, and your face is so mad that I won that thing. I'm just out of it. I'm like, whatever, man. Did you send security to come wake me up?
I did. You know, I told this I told this story when I was on your show. It was the morning after the golf tournament, and Jimmy was supposed to make his flight. I mean, this was an early morning flight, and no one could find Jimmy. So ultimately, someone called your mother, and your mother tried to track you down. And he was late, so he's running through the airport. I mean, I shouldn't say this now, but he looked like O.J. Simpson in the old Hertz commercial.
I was jumping over your
running
bags
through,
and stuff.
yeah, jumping,
Well,
and you made
you
it.
were awake and looking good, and everyone, Charlie was there, and I was just like, oh, dude, I think a security guard came in my room and woke me up. Said, dude.
So like I said, I've known Jimmy for a long time. And when you see him on his show, he has a lot of energy. This is him all the time. Like, this is not an act. This is Jimmy Fallon.
No, we always had, I've been following you and been a fan because you're just such a good guy, man, and awesome. And I've been at every single one of your milestones at Yankee Stadium. And I know you used to see me every now and then. And I always say, like, I never want to get in your head because I want you to stay. I mean, you're the best. You're a legend. You come out, and I want you to be tough, and I want you to be Derek Jeter and you just walk out, and you cool, and then you go up, and you're awesome. You hit homers. So I go, don't even look at me if I'm there in the front row. But every now and then I would be sitting there with Lauren, and you would come over and you give us a nod or something like that. And I go, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. And then you hit homers. But I was there for every one of everything you ever did that was good, I was there for. Yeah. So you owe me something.
Yeah.
I want more than this. I want another trophy tonight. But I was at everyone. Did I ever distract you at all?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It's never a distraction, Jimmy. But if I encourage everyone, when they get home tonight, to look at any milestone moments that I may have had at Yankee Stadium. and you'll always see Jimmy back in the front row, not exactly knowing what to do with his hands. So he's jumping up, clapping before he's supposed to clap, and he's excited. And
I was trying to distract the pitcher for you, man. I was trying to help you out. Hey, man, walk is as good as a hit. You know what I'm saying? So you would come out, and I'd be like, "What's up, cool?" And then when you turn around, I'd be like, I would scream, I'd lose my voice just for you. I sat through the rain for you, everything. I mean, I really felt like I raised you.
And then, yeah.
Really, I'm proud of you.
And then you
I'm
went.
proud of you, son.
Yeah, and then.
How is basketball
on,
different than baseball?
I never brought this up. And then you went and filmed a movie as a Red Sox fan.
When you got paid as much money as I did, you see why I did it. It was pretty good. I gotta say, even though you're at Miami, you're still helping the Yankees. Thanks for Giancarlo, by the way. Still helping the Yankees out. No problem. Oh, you know what? Oh, I have a funny story. I had Giancarlo Stanton on the show, and I said, look, Derek, now and then Derek would come over, he'd nod and look at me. If I'm at the game, I go, you don't have to do that. I want you to be focused. I want you to win for the Yankees. You are the Yankees. I want you to win. Get out there. He's like, don't look at me. He goes, okay, I won't. So, okay, great. So I go to the game. I'm there with Lauren, and we're at the game. And I said to Lauren, I go, he's not going to look at me because we already talked about this in the show. I said, focus up and just go out there and win. I'm there to root you on. I don't care. I don't want you to say hi to me. I want you to focus up so he gets up and he's warming up. He's swinging the bat. Getting ready, and he's trying, you know, and then he goes over, he walks by, and he just looks over at me, and he goes, I go, dude, I just told you not to do that. And that was the day he hit the game-winning home run, and he had his Yankee moment. Again, he owes me his whole career as well. A-Rod will come up, and I must have said a joke about him on the show or something, so he just looked like he hated me. He would come and look at no one but me. A-Rod would come look at me. Staring right, I mean, the bat is whipping across. I'm like, all right, dude, we get it. You don't like me, but now we're friends. Do you remember going to your first apartment or your first big apartment?
Yes.
I went with you and your friends. You're like, dude, you want to see my new apartment? I got a big apartment. It was like on the 159th floor or something. It was gorgeous, and there's no furniture. And we walked in, and you go, this is it, man. And I go, oh my God, it actually looked like this room right here. This was your apartment. A little bit bigger. It was a little bit bigger than this room. Is your first apartment. My first apartment was this speaker right here. I would shove a bed and I'd have a hot plate in there with a ramen noodle soup. And here you are playing tennis in you had an Olympic-sized pool in your apartment. And we walked in and you're like, this is awesome. You go, dude, I got this new invention that I could play like every song in the world on this remote. And we're sitting there and I go, all right, let's play it. And you couldn't get it to work. It was so embarrassing. You couldn't get it to work. And then I go, shh. I hear it. It's coming from somewhere. Wait. And we had to go all the way around your apartment. We found the only place it was working was in your kitchen. So we drank a 12-pack of beer in your kitchen. Yeah, it was really fun. Okay. Let's get into some questions that these guys probably want to know. First of all, congrats on the baby.
Thank you.
How old is the baby now?
She's 13 months. Yes, thank you.
13 months, that is so Hannah talking. That is so your wife.
Yes.
Guys don't care about months.
Well, I mean, I've done it.
It's like, how old's your baby? It's like, 349 months. And okay, what is that? Your baby's 23?
Well,
I don't know. You stop worrying about months after a while. That's such a thing.
Yeah, I know.
So she's 1 year.
Yes, a little over 1. And I've done a great job pretty much raising her on my own. I've done a good job.
Absolutely, of course.
No, I was doing a speaking engagement recently, and they asked me what's my greatest accomplishment. And I was going, they're asking about whether it was my playing career or ownership or the Players Tribune. And I said, well, my greatest accomplishment is having a daughter. And then I said my wife will probably disagree with me because she probably feels as though it's her greatest accomplishment.
Yeah, I think
giving
she had
birth,
a lot to do with it. Yeah.
Birth to my daughter.
Hannah's, yeah, exactly. Has it changed everything though?
It has. The thing is, it's regardless of what happens on a daily basis, you go home and you actually see your daughter smile. I mean, you have two kids.
I have two
of your
little
own,
girls, yeah.
and it really changes your perspective on anything. But I'm not just plugging my wife, but I'm gonna just mention this because when we acquired the Marlins, I had it in my mind. I sold her on the fact that we'd be going back and forth to Tampa, where I used to live. We'd be going back every weekend, teams on the road. But I think we've been there for 10 days since we acquired the team a year ago. So she deserves a lot of credit with not only doing the heavy lifting, but
Oh, we know.
putting up with me.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, Hannah, please. You're the great. Please, we know that. I mean, I know people ask you all the time, like, hey, do you miss anything? I mean, but it's almost coming on 4 years that you're not playing.
It's been a long time, yes, Jimmy. I don't miss it at all. I have not swung a bat since my last game. I have not thrown a baseball with an exception of throwing out the first pitch when they retired my number, but I haven't done anything baseball. I don't miss it at all.
You don't miss anything about I mean, do you ever go like, I remember coming out to the thing, or I remember, when we went on the road, these people would boo me or whatever, or like.
Well, that's another good thing. My wife does not like to see any highlights of me when I played. At all. They have some things come on ESPN. I'm like,
yeah.
Hey, look at this. She's like, turn the channel, or she walks out of the room.
She's like, yeah, we get it. You're a legend. Yeah, all right.
behind
Good
me.
night, legend. Yeah, go get the bottle for the baby. Yeah, exactly. But there's nothing, because I mean, by the way, the last game, do you guys remember Derek's last game? Dude, I had a heart attack. I almost died. Because you came out and you finished, and I thought it was your last at bat, and everyone got weepy, and everyone was taking cell phone videos of you, and you go, that's it, bye, Derek, we love you, And I go, oh, man, I love that dude. And then you came out to shortstop, and you said a prayer, and I think you either grabbed some dirt, or did you eat grass or something? Or did you eat the grass?
No, you completely made that up.
Okay, yeah,
I
all right,
didn't
but that's
do
a good
either one of
story.
those
You should
things.
maybe
Yeah,
think
it's a
about
great story. I'll
you should
change
think
it
about
when I'm alive.
embellishing. Yeah, it's a kind of a great story. But you went and said a prayer or something, and I was like, oh, it was great. And then they tied it up. Was it Baltimore?
Baltimore, yes.
And they tied it up, and they batted around, and you have to get up again. And I go, this is terrible, because you had the best last at bat, and it was perfect. And I go, and now it's a tie game, and there's 2 outs. Maybe.
Yeah, you just keep going. Yeah, that's
Sorry,
great.
sorry, I might
Sounds
be making
great.
that up.
Yeah.
Either way, there was a guy on. I got
2 outs, bases loaded.
Something
Game
like that.
7 of the World Series. Yeah.
You get up, and I was just so nervous for you again. I go, I can't believe this guy, the pressure. This is his last. This is now his last at bat. So now my video on my phone is useless because now this is your real last at bat. So I'm really worried about me here in my social media. And then you just smack a game-winning single, and the place erupted. And there's nothing like Yankee Stadium when it erupts. I mean, this is similar, but you put on a show, man.
Thank you. I've been very fortunate to have a lot of memories, especially here in New York at Yankee Stadium. Like everyone asks now, because, being with the Marlins, they ask, oh, are you a Yankee or are you a Marlin? Look, I will always be a New York Yankee. I played in New York. I played in New York for 20 years. It's like Don Mattingly. He will always be a New York Yankee. But, you move on and you do other things, and now we're trying to build an organization. We will build an organization that's one of the best in all of sports, and it's going to take us a little time, Jimmy, but we're going to get you down in Miami. We're going to get you a Marlins hat. We're going to put you in the front row.
That's never going to happen as long as you live, but I do love you.
Well, if we pay you enough money like that Boston movie, you'll do it, right?
Again, thank you again for Stanton. He's awesome. But talk about turn 2 for a second, because when you started this 22 years ago, what's different? I mean, how small was it compared to what it is now?
Yeah, I said this earlier. We had our first event in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We raised $30,000, I think.
That is just this table right here. That's it. Tonight these are big wheels. You guys are fantastic, by the way. Give yourselves a round of applause for doing this, coming out tonight. These guys are awesome.
So it was a small family foundation when we started it, and we never imagined that it would grow to what it is today. And my dad obviously used to run the foundation until my sister sort of kicked him out and took over, and now she's taken over, and she continues to be innovative, and we continue to get the support through the communities in New York, West Michigan, and down in Florida where I live. So we deserve everyone in here deserves a lot of credit, because we couldn't be successful without everyone's support. So thank you once again.
Where do you see it? Where do you see it going? What have you seen change where you're like, wow, that was pretty awesome that I did that?
The foundation, it's always fun for us. We have our alumni here when they come back, when we meet with the parents of the kids and they thank us for, even playing a small little part in their child's development. I think that's what makes it all worthwhile for us. Everyone asks how many kids' lives have we touched? It's kind of impossible to count, but we know we've had an impact on at least a few.
Yeah, you absolutely have. It's kind of amazing. And then, let's talk about Miami for a second, because you did something that I thought was pretty cool. You were asking the English-speaking people that work for the organization to learn Spanish.
I did. I always found it very interesting when I was playing how when you have players come from Latin America, someone puts a microphone in their face and all of a sudden they're expected to speak English. And it's not that simple. It's an entirely different culture and it's an entirely different language. You're away from home for the first time. So I thought it was important not only that our Hispanic players learn English, but all of our English-speaking players learn Spanish. So we've implemented that in our organization this year.
I can't even say how you're just like the coolest dude ever. I love you so much. There's nothing more to say, but thank you on behalf of everyone here and everyone you've helped. Thank you so much for this great evening, and I know you got some good music coming up here.
And thank you, everyone thank Jimmy. I know Jimmy's busier than anyone you could imagine, but thanks for coming out here.
Yeah, that's it. I appreciate it. Thanks again. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.